What's going on, YouTube? This your boy, that guy named Jay, checking in. I really hate how chapped my lips are. I'm doing this water/dry fasting. One of the side effects for anyone who's fasted before is the dry mouth. Lips be chapped and shit. But anyways, so I apologize if that is a distraction, but you know, most of my subscribers are men, so I hope that you guys aren't staring at my lips, but you know, you never know. So what you absolutely have to work in the port, this video is about what you absolutely have to work in the port. Okay. It's just impossible to even fathom consistently working in the port without this. Okay. You're not going to make any money without it. You're not going to make it very long without it. What could I be talking about? Am I talking about a truck? No, that's stupid. I mean, that's obvious, but am I talking about a TWIC card? Am I talking about a certain amount of experience, a safety vest, a hard hat? What could I possibly be speaking of specifically in this video? I'm going to tell you. In order to maintain a career in the port as a port driver, port truck driver, whether you're in the Virginia port, the Georgia port, the wherever a port may be, Cali, you 1000% have to have patience. It's a necessity. It is an absolute must. And some could say that, well, that's with all parts of the trucking industry. Yeah, that's probably true, but more so in the port. I saw these lips are just horrible. That's just terrible. I wish I had a baby wipe. I kind of got it there. Anyways, sorry, ladies. So yeah, patience. It's a lot of things that go on in the port that I feel you deal with more than you would as an over-the-road or regional driver. More so because you're local. As a local driver, you deal with the same things that OTR drivers deal with. You just deal with them more frequently. Customers, people, politics, paperwork, things in that effect. But with the port, it's just so many things. With the port, like with a regular situation in trucking, you only really deal with your company, and you deal with your customer and your receiver for the most part, and then, you know, DOT. With the port, you deal with your carrier or your company. Most of them, it's mostly called carriers out here because, you know, a lot of this is owner-out work, 1099 work for the most part. That's probably about 85 to 90% of the port work is 1099. You rarely see any W-2. You see an Old Dominion out here. You'll see like an Averitt. And there's some other like W-2 type companies out here in the port, at least in the Virginia port. But majority of the trucks you'll see will be a owner-op or fleet owner truck that is being driven by someone else on a 1099 contractor position, or misclassified, whatever y'all want to call it, man. I'm not getting into that. But anyways, so yeah, and so you have to deal with that. You have to deal with, I'm gonna call you back, D-Raj. You have to deal with the owner of the truck. You have to deal with the carrier, because the owner of the truck isn't the carrier. So that's two people. You have to deal with the port itself, meaning the gate in, the gate out. That's dealing with someone. You have to deal with the crane operators or the longshoremen. That's someone. You have to deal with port police. You have to deal with securitas, so whatever they're called, when they check your badge when you first come in before you even get to the gate to get in the port. It's like 2 gates you go through. Then you got to deal with the customers, shipping, receiving. Then you still got to deal with DOT. And most importantly, you got to deal with other port drivers. So it's just a lot of different variables, a lot of different people that you will have to come into contact with if you're going to be a port driver. You know what I'm saying? Is it impossible? Is it the hardest thing in the world? Is it something that I'm telling you can't be done? Absolutely not. I'm just letting you know that that's part of what you're going to have to deal with being in the port. Where patience come in is that it's a lot of things in the port that can slow you down. Obviously, working in the port, most people are driving older equipment. Older equipment is more likely to break down or be delayed because of maintenance issues than, say, a newer truck that you'll be in over the road. So you have that. DOT is more likely to mess with you because you're in an older truck that is more likely to have a violation as far as a defect goes. You know what I'm saying? Also, going in and out of the port. Sometimes you can get in and out of the port in an hour. Sometimes, like I did yesterday, you're sitting there for 4 hours. The best thing to do, early bird gets the worm. The earliest you can start your day, the better you are. Most of the ports, I think VIG opens at 3 a.m. PMT opens, I want to say 5 if I'm not mistaken, and NIT opens at 5. They have what's called an appointment system. I'll talk about that in another video in more specific detail. But the way the appointment system works is you can set an appointment and it goes in an hour window. So your appointment can be 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, all the way up until noon, which I think they just pushed it back to 1 p.m. As long as you're running between those times, the 3 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the 5 a.m. to 1 p.m., your day can go pretty smoothly. The longest you may wait is maybe about 2 hours, unless you just get sent to a stack. And I'll explain that in another video as well. You get sent to a stack with a bunch of trucks. However, if you find yourself chasing the extra dollars towards the end of the day, or you start your day later because you decided you want to sleep in and push your appointment back, I'll explain how to do that later as well. Then you'll find yourself going in the port after 12, 1 o'clock, and then that's when the wait time come in. That's what happened to me yesterday. I went into the port at 1:18. I didn't leave out of the port until 5:22. If I still had my in-gate ticket, I would show you, but I have to turn those in. It's part of how we get paid. So that's something that you would have to deal with, versus making $120 to the truck in maybe an hour and a half. Now you're sitting in the port for 4 or 5 hours and still making that same $120. You know what I'm saying? Granted, you're getting paid detention, but the money you could be making those same runs, because again, VIG is only maybe 8 minutes from where I am here at HUD. So you could probably did 2 more of those loads and made another $240 plus the $120 you just made, $360. Instead, you made the $120 and you got maybe $60 in detention time. You see what I'm saying? Math adds up real quick. So patience as far as that, because that can be very discouraging. It can be very discouraging because money was left on the table. Now, that's, of course, if the freight is available. If the freight isn't available, like right now, being March, it's the slow time for the port. That's another part where patience come in. Because, like, in February, the way it was running, Cass was coming in at 3 a.m. and was going home by 10, 11 o'clock and had made $500, $600 to the truck. Now, you're coming in at 5 a.m. and, you're staying until damn near 3, 4 o'clock, and you be lucky to make $300, $400. That's just how slow it is. Like, you're sitting and waiting 2 to 3 hours in between getting a load. And it's so slow they have to make a list. And then it's just like first come, first serve on that list. And it may be 30 minutes in between each time someone gets a load. This person may get one 30 minutes later, this person 30 minutes later, this person. And you're talking about it's 15 people on this HUD. My understanding, this HUD has 120 drivers. So you have 120 drivers if everybody came to work that day that's trying to get that load. So it's not so much that the money can't be made. It just may take longer to make the money. That's the thing about working on anything that's load-based or production-based. The time, it kind of fluctuates. One day you can come in and work 6 hours and make fucking $40 an hour. Or it's one day you could come in and work 10 hours and make $20 an hour. That's just how the day, you know what I'm saying? So you really are in control of the money you make. It's just a matter of how much patience you have. You know You know what I'm saying? You have some guys who come in and they want to leave by 11, 12 o'clock, period. They don't want to work more than 8, 9 hours. So whatever they made by that time, they're gone. But then you have some guys who have a little bit more patience. They have a set amount that they're trying to make. So they don't care if it takes them 6 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours, or 14 hours, which is the legal amount of time we can work. And I'm going to leave that there. And they don't mind staying that 14 hours as long as they hit that 4 or 5 or whatever they're trying to hit, if that's even possible for that day. So it's just a matter of your patience. Some people don't have the patience to sit around and wait. You know, some people don't have the long-term patience. That's just on a short-term basis, on a day-to-day basis. Now, a longer-term basis would be trying to wait on for it to pick up, because what everybody keeps saying is this is the slow time, but when it picks up, it's takeoff. You know, when it picks up later this month or April, it stays steady and busy until December. That's what everybody keeps saying, and that's not just this port. That's all ports. So do you have the patience to wait on that, or do you just, like, your financial situation too tight that you got to make other moves? You got to, okay, look, you know what? I got to go find another company. But see, the thing is, if you're going to leave a company and you still want to be local in the port, there's really no point, because it's not like an OTR situation. Because OTR, let's say, because I'm looking at these trucks here, you got Landstar right here, you got Epps, you got Abilene. They all right here beside each other. And then you got, what's that? Estos. It's LTL. So never mind. So let's just use Epps. Oh, that's USA Truck. So let's use Landstar, USA Truck, Epps, and Abilene. Now let's just say Abilene is slow. Let's just say I can leave Abilene and I can go to Epps, and they got different customers. They got different brokers. They may pull some of the same freight, but a lot of their freight may be different. Epps may run freight that Abilene can't touch, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? And the thing with that is, Epps could be running and the freight could be moving where Abilene isn't. The thing about the port is, if you're a local driver in the port, with the regional and the OTR, I think is a little different, but I don't know, because they just don't have to go in the port as much as we do. We're going in 3, 4, 5 times a day. They're only going in 1 a day or 1 every other day. But it really would make no sense for me to leave this local port position and go to an XPO or a Duvenant or IBV or whoever, because at the end of the day, we're still all coming and pulling out of the same port. So if the port is slow, if the vessel is delayed, if there's no freight coming out, it doesn't matter if I work for whoever, the freight isn't coming. Period. You know what I'm saying? So that's where patience come in, because now it's like, if you're gonna make a move, you got to make a whole nother move into a whole nother part of the trucking industry, because you can't sit tight for a month or 2 months of slow times. That's where patience comes in. That's where having your money right comes in. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say, man, it's just from what I've seen so far, and of course I've been dealing with the port through Great Wide as well. So it's just, you know, getting a different perspective from a local and OTR version as far as the port is concerned, and regional, because I did some regional with Great Wide as well. Patience is required, man. You cannot come and work in the port. You cannot pull containers if you don't have patience. You just can't. So, which is why I'm so grateful for my maturation process, because a year ago or 2 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to do this. Oh no, I'm about to get a $400 check, or, you know, I only did X amount of loads this week. Nah, I can't deal with this. This ain't it. You know what I'm saying? So just you know, not no advice. This is not me giving advice. It's just me sharing my experience and what I believe. And I believe in order to sustain a career in the port, you have to have patience. And I know people gonna come in the comments talk, oh, you gotta have that in trucking. Hey man, that's cool. Yep, exactly what you say it is, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna argue with nobody in my comment section, man. You need to take your own advice and da-da-da-da. But how am I not taking my own advice when I'm the one that's saying it? You're repeating what I just said, right? I don't know. But as always, man, stay safe, stay positive, stay productive. God Family Trucking. Check your next video.